Hi Montana, day 38. Some interesting things happened today. This might be a long video. This morning in Business and Labor, we heard another bill that represents a fight between the auto dealers and the auto manufacturers. One side is definitely lying, and I cannot tell which side it is. So I'm on the phone trying to figure out the backstory and who's telling the truth and who's not. We heard a bill about beer licenses. We heard House Bill 462, which creates an academic brewer's license so that schools in the university system can get this license and then teach students how to be brewers. So they'll be growing skilled brewers for the Montana workforce. We heard House Bill 506, which allows any business to charge you as a customer an extra 3% on every single thing that you buy with a credit card in order to cover the cost of their credit card processing. I think that's actually going to pass. So you might want to use the bit.ly/myvoice2017 to let them know if you don't think that we should pass a law allowing every business in Montana to charge every customer an extra 3% on everything. We also heard House Bill 496, which exempts seasonal outdoor recreation workers from minimum wage and from overtime pay. These are fly guides, hunting guides, any dude ranch employee, any golf instructor, any ski instructor. The list goes on and on. I think that bill will probably pass. It is so hypocritical to me to talk about good jobs and good employment for Montanans and then bring bills that literally say these employees aren't subject to the minimum wage or to overtime. On the floor today, the Republicans killed House Bill 142, which was a compromise bill between the old insurance auditor and the new insurance auditor, and it allowed for your insurance company to cover your mental health care. And at a time when both sides of the aisle are saying we have to do something about suicide prevention in the state, and we have to do something about alcoholism and drug abuse in the state, and that when we all agree that mental health services are key to these things, it just blows my mind that the Republican Party would kill a bill that gets at the heart of all of these issues by allowing mental health care. We spent a lot of time today discussing House Bill 325, which is a bill that allows for the sale of raw milk. The sponsor stood up and said that this bill is about freedom. We have to get the government out of our kitchen. And so I respectfully asked all of them to do the same. We'll get the government out of our kitchen today, and maybe later on in the session we can get the government out of our bedrooms and get the government out of our doctor's offices. I don't think they'll go with me on it. One representative said, I absolutely will protect Montanans' right to choose the milk they drink. And I guarantee you, those same folks will not support a woman's right to choose later on in the session. I just want to use this to point out the fact that the majority party is spending a lot of time, which means a lot of your taxpayer dollars, on bills about raw milk and pet foxes, but they are not funding education. They are not building infrastructure in Montana. They are not bringing jobs. They are not lifting up workers and allowing us to earn a minimum living wage. You might have heard that the committee killed the statewide non-discrimination ordinance the other day. This adds language to the human rights protections in Montana's Constitution. We tried to blast it on the floor today. Blasting it means if it's tabled on committee, we can ask for it to be taken off of the table, which would allow for an entire discussion of all 100 members of the House of Representatives instead of the discussion that it had with just 15 or 20 committee members. The motion to discuss a statewide non-discrimination ordinance in the House failed on a 43 to 55 vote. So only 2 Republicans joined all 41 Democrats in saying that we should at least discuss having a statewide non-discrimination ordinance. If you want to see what the vote looked like on that, you can go to bit.ly/HouseBigots. This afternoon in local government committee, we heard 7 or 8 bills, and then we stayed and voted on almost all of the bills that we've heard so far. Some of them are good and some of them are bad. We're up against the transmittal deadline I've talked about before, when all of the House bills that don't include money have to go over to the Senate and vice versa. So put in about a 12-and-a-half-hour day today, but things will get a lot easier once these bills are through and we're kind of starting fresh. Good, bad, and the ugly. You got it all here, at least from my committees. There are lots of other committees that have just as much going on in them. I'll keep reporting to you about what's happening in my day. I'll see you tomorrow.